The opera Scourge of Hyacinths is an opera that I wrote in the 1990s. Is the text is based on a play by Nobel Prize Wole Soyinka. He is originally from Nigeria, on the west coast of Africa. And the drama of this piece is tremendous because it's one of those dramas that are played out in the entire world. And it's a drama of a man that is accused of doing something that actually he didn't do. And at the end, he loses his life. And it's a drama of a mother that is praying for this son because she knows that her son is innocent. She knows it, you see. But she doesn't trust the people that have placed him into that situation. And finally, when that happened, she didn't know that that was happening. So the end of the opera, he's losing his life, and she's just fervently praying to this goddess that she believes is going to save him, because this is a goddess that is very just, and since she is just, and she knows, as she knows, the mother knows, that he is innocent, she's not going to permit that he lose his life. So it's very powerful. And one of the things that compelled me to write this piece is the fact that the goddess that this mother was praying is one of the same goddess that my mother and my grandmother and the female and perhaps the males of my family prayed to. In Cuba, there's a tradition that comes from the Yoruba people. It has to do with the people of Africa that came as a forced labor to work, in the country. And the thing is that they brought their culture. By bringing their culture, all these gods came in also, which are of the Yoruban tradition, which is a religion, like many of the religions in the world. So that set foot in Cuba, and it was syncretized with another religion that had to do with Spain. And Spain was actually, the force in Cuba at the time. So therefore, these two religions being together, creating another one, create a talk called Santeria. You see, so in Santeria you have this goddess, but those people that could not at that time pray to that goddess utilize another symbol in order to replace that goddess and still play to the goddess that they wanted to play to. I mean, or pray to, right? So in this case, there's a goddess called, or a virgin called La Virgen de Regla. And La Virgen de Regla, it is a virgin of the Catholic faith that came to Cuba through the Spaniards. So that Virgen de Regla, the Africanos call her Yemanja, because the story of this Virgen de Regla was very similar to the story of Yemanja. So they started calling Yemanja La Virgen de Regla, and the Virgen de Regla, Yemanja. So that was a way that they could practice their religion without upsetting anybody. So, in my place of origin in Cuba, there's great respect for both faith, and therefore, um, my family would pray to Virgen de Regla, and at the same time, they were praying to Yemanja, and there were songs, and there were all kind of musical traditions that go with the different deities. My mother used to sing one of these traditional songs. When I was writing the music of The Scourge of Hyacinths, I had to do an aria, the last aria, in which the mother is asking the goddess to save her son. And my mother, at that time, came to visit me here in New York. And I said, Mima, I have to write this piece. I have to write this aria. And the goddess is Jemanja. You remember Jemanja? My mother said, yes, of course. What did you sing to Jemanja when I was a child, for example, you know? And then my mother started singing, oh, Jemanja, you know? And say, yeah, and how does it continue? She said, oh, Jemanja. Okay. Yeah, Mima, but there's some more. How does it continue? Oh, yeah, man, yeah. My mother was actually changing the same melody, one tone higher and higher and higher. And so, therefore, that little motif, those little um, notes that she gave to me of her memories of that melody are the ones that serve as motif for me to develop the entire aria in which the mother is asking this deity to save her son. The same way that my mother used to ask the deity for me to pass the exams at school, for example, or praying because I had a cold and that she wanted me to be healthy. So it was that memory. I link that memory of my childhood with the faith of this woman, and that's how the birth of the piece emerged. And that's a piece that I respect a great deal, because I mean, it came from a very special place in my heart.